matters to the Ghanaian people. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to know if there is a problem with us taking this bill once and for all. If there is no problem, let's take it. We've taken other bills with 4 people sitting in the chair.
Honorable Sam George.
I'm taking money from LGBT. And you actually mentioned her name as the pro-LGBT president.
She's one of them. Continue.
She went and sat on the media and said, me, she knows that I'm taking money from LGBTQ people. Sheila Bartels. It took her father to come and apologize to me. Exactly. You were leaving the house today. You should have taken a little for 30 minutes. There is nothing we are saying that
My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
Memo akwa abaya de ba PENDREAM TV so make sure say onane dey kan ya wuti and now be subscribe to channel now no click the bell so say the news to also nsa betumi aka ntem no ti. Yes, Andrew or Parliament Sam George any Lydia Seyram or MP or Ayawa so West and Sheila Bartels in Yantawanta webia nene akasa pa na no na or Metro TV so Dr. Randy Abbey bisano de kofa asane ya mani nyina baaye ma Sam George nyanto boase no chirechire mu die nsia one Sheila Bartels ne Lydia Seyram nya asanta wantawane akasa na nya asem ketu akura because uhwemu ana Sam George bo afuye pa esanse anti-gay bill o mo pese o mo pass o parliament no nipa bi pese o twentwen na sia o pese o peda no ma bo agu enu nti Lydia Seyram ne Sheila Bartels e boka ho asema Anthony Sunya anu nti oni omunya antawatawa menka sabebre yonkon enkwese ne Sam George dey nsem to do dwa Metro TV.
What people do in their privacy is not our business. But you cannot bring what you want to do in your private space and then impose that on the education of our children. So as a parent, and that's why I quoted international conventions, as a parent, the right to educate my child in conformity with my beliefs is a right entrenched both in local and international law. So an educational board should not determine what material is used to train my child without engaging me. And Randy, this is not a foreign problem. There is a school in Ghana today. It came on social media, I'll start. That brought a so-called influencer to come and sit in the classroom with year 7s to year 9s and tell them that it was good to love themselves and it was okay for them to explore sexuality with persons of the same sex. A school not legal here in Ghana. Now the question is, did that school seek the permission of the parents of those children for their children to be told that it is okay as a girl to like a girl or as a boy to explore with a boy? Randy, growing up as kids, I remember, and I'm sure you've done it, going to wear your mother's high heel shoes or a girl wearing her father's shoes. Does that mean that that child wants to become an opposite sex person? No. You allow children explore. But you don't force children to change who they are and indoctrinate them. And so I'm going to be writing to the Ghana Education Service to report to that school and request that that school's license to practice education is withdrawn. Because Randy, you cannot be, what that school did is called grooming. They are grooming the kids without the permission of children. And you see, that's why in the US and the UK, and you've lived in the UK, the school cannot even give paracetamol to your child if they are running temperature without consulting you. They need your permission. But the school,
you sign even before, whether they
can or not.
Yes.
But the school can choose to change your child's sex without your consent as a parent. In the UK as we speak today. The school on its own can change your child's sex without your consent. But that same child, to give that child paracetamol, you need my consent. This is the absurdity we are fighting and trying to stop from coming into Ghana.
So how come you guys were fighting in Parliament yesterday?
So yesterday, the Speaker indicated that the bill has been literally on ice for a while. And we just have amendments. We have about some 43 amendments or so. And these amendments are amendments that have been agreed between the committee, the sponsors, and the Attorney General. And we have reached conclusion. So, normally when the amendments come, there is a debate, argument, we don't want this, we want... But where we sit now, we have agreed on what the amendment should be. So the amendments stand in the name of the chairman of the committee, which is the usual procedure. We just need to take them, and then we are done with consideration of amendments, the consideration stage, and then we go to third reading and the bill is passed. So yesterday, the speaker indicated that he wanted the bill to be taken yesterday. From morning, I kept calling the chairman of the committee. He didn't pick my call.
Who was the chairman?
Kwame Imedu entry. I think Asante Achem South or so, or Central. Now, he didn't pick my call. He didn't return my call. And so we went into the chamber. The ranking member was there. Then the speaker...
Who's the ranking?
Bernard Hereford, Akachi South, I believe.
Yes.
And so he was present.
He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer, yes. Kwame Imedu is also a lawyer because they are on the Constitutional, Legal, and Parliamentary Affairs. And so basically, it's a committee of lawyers. Now, what happens is the speaker, whilst presiding, made it clear that we're not going to go into public business properly, which had to do with other things. We're going to move into public business to do the laying of papers, because I think they wanted to lay a paper for a loan agreement on the Tema interchange, some $338 million on the Tema interchange.
Which one is Tema interchange?
They said they're doing the phase 2 of the Tema interchange, a $338 million loan. We'll come to that one separately. Okay. The Minister for Roads was there. Katie Hammond was there to answer questions, but there was one urgent question and about 6 other questions. So the speaker said, we will take the urgent question, take the laying of papers, and then take the consideration of the bill. He announced that. He said it at least 3 times while sitting in the course of his conversation. And then when he finished, he said, well, he's going to go for a meeting and return. So he called the first deputy speaker, Honorable Joseph Osei-Owusu, to come and take the chair. And you could see him have some conversation with Honorable Joseph Osei-Owusu before he left. Now, when he left, as soon as he left, this is not the first time this is happening. This is actually the second time relative to this bill and the third time in Parliament where the speaker has given a directive, and when he leaves the chamber, it is turned upside down. So I sent a message to the clerk at table, Jetro, that he should notify Honorable Joseph Osei-Owusu that the speaker had given a directive, because as soon as the speaker left, before he went to his office, he was meeting the Minister for Defense of South Africa, who used to be the lady speaker of South Africa's parliament, who had been his friend for very long, and she was here for the UN Peacekeepers Summit. So she had called on him for a courtesy call. But before he would go, myself, Honorable De La Soa, and Honorable Helen Ntoso, who are also sponsors of the bill, went to meet the speaker at his lobby in the chamber to ask him that, hey, would we still take the bill? He says, oh, I have given express instructions to Honorable Joseph Osei-Owusu to start the bill, the consideration. I'm going for this meeting. I would return to come and conclude it myself. So, Sam, go back into the chamber with your team. It will be taken. When Jethro talks to Joai says that the chairman is not in the chamber. So he signals that. And I'm like, this is strange. Because even when there are government bills, which is government business, and the chairman is not available, the ranking, Bernard Hereford, moves the motion, because the amendments of the committee naturally stand in the name of the chairman. But it doesn't suppose that except the chairman is there, the bill doesn't move. Bernard Hereford has moved amendments for government bills before. Sosu, who is the deputy ranking, has moved amendments for government bills before. Now, this is not even a government bill. This is a private member's bill. So, government necessarily has no direct interest in the bill, save for the fact that the Attorney General has contributed to it. Now, as sponsors, we say we are okay with the ranking member moving our amendment. Then the first deputy chief whip, Lydia Lassan, who was the available leader at the time, rises and says that, well, they want for us to close. And that was the agreement. So Kwame Abuja is called on our side. And Kwame Abuja says there was no such agreement. So I rise and tell Honorable Joe Wise that the Speaker has given you express directives. He's going to return. So we cannot end when the Speaker has said, I am coming back to preside. He's told you what to do, so let's proceed. He says, well, because the chairman is not there, he can't proceed, and proceeds to end the house, to adjourn the house till today. And you know, the painful thing is, it is simply because the Speaker had finished that meeting, was returning to the chamber, and then apparently another group on, I think, the emolument, the Presidential Emoluments Commission or something, Commission on Emoluments, had also come in. So he had to stay longer to address them. Else he would have come to meet us. And yesterday the Speaker was very unhappy about it. Because this is not the first time the Speaker has given directives. And it appears as though there is an intentional decision to undermine the authority of the Speaker. And that is unfair. And yesterday when we were addressing the media, then one of the MPs, Honorable Lydia Alassane came there to try to say, oh, we shouldn't address the media. And I said, no, the media needs to know the truth. And once we're standing there, Sheila Bartels just comes and throws, basically, hurls invectives at us. And we are populists and we are hypocrites. And I turned around and said, you. It's the same way Sheila Bartels went to sit on a sister radio station or on another platform, Star, in an interview, and claimed that me, Sam George, this bill I'm sponsoring, she has for a fact that I have gone to take money from LGBTQ people to push this bill. First and foremost, it tells you how intelligent she is. Because if anybody in this country... No, Chief, wait.
I'm just saying let me learn. Here. So
the facts are clear. And yesterday, the video, your cameras captured my engagement or our exchange, where I told her. And the cameras captured it. If you like, I'm sure Andy can play.
I'm with you that because it's not here.
No, but I was not.
Let's hold on.
I was not there.
Let's just watch the proceedings in the House. What led to the House being adjourned and then the presser.
With the question. That is the agreement, and we engage, and the agreement is we end on questions and we continue tomorrow. We have the whole day tomorrow. We have the whole day tomorrow for other businesses. How long does it take? Less than an hour will be done with the budget, my dear.
I'm not aware of an agreement to end anywhere. We are in your hands. My colleague has made a point about the consideration of the particular bill. So we are in your hands, Mr. Speaker.
It matters to the Ghanaian people. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to know if there is a problem with us taking this bill once and for all. If there is no problem, let's take it. We've taken other bills with 4 people sitting in the chamber.
Honorable Sam George.
He is not the chairman. I've seen the ranking. He is not the chairman. I'm asking.
Mr. Speaker, ready to move the committee's amendment, if given the opportunity, Mr. Speaker. Ready to move the committee's amendment, if given the opportunity, Mr. Speaker.
Sexual Human Rights and Ghanaian Families Bill 2021. We are livid and angry, extremely angry at the conduct in the chamber today. This morning, the Right Honourable Speaker, Honourable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagley, called and said to all of us as sponsors that the bill was going to be taken today. The consideration of the amendment was going to be taken today. When we got to Parliament, he sent again to indicate that he wanted for all of us to be present. Since 8 a.m. this morning, we've been calling the chairman of the committee. I have been calling the
the chairman of the committee since 8 a.m. this morning. He's refused to pick the call. He's not returned the call. The ranking member of the committee, Honorable Bernard Ahiafo, has been present in Parliament since 10 a.m. He was in the chamber when the mace came in with the speaker, ready for us to handle this. The speaker came in earlier this morning and indicated that he was going to take only one urgent question and then take the lane of papers, and that there was a very important bill, you can take the hands out and check, that had to be dealt with. But the speaker indicated that he also had a meeting he had to attend. And so when the speaker called the first deputy speaker, Honorable Joseph Osei-Owusu, to take the chair, he indicated to him, and I state this on authority, he indicated to Honorable Joe Wise to finish with questioning and proceed to take our bill, the anti-LGBTQI bill. In fact, when the speaker went into his lobby, myself, Honorable Helen Ntosu, and Honorable Delasoa followed up with the speaker to find out from him if the bill will still be taken. Once again, the speaker, Right Honorable Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, indicated that he had instructed the first deputy speaker to start the consideration, and that when he finished his meeting, he was going to come back to complete the considerations today, because the speaker said he was completing the considerations today and gave those instructions to the first deputy speaker. Our frustration is that this is not the first time this is happening. It's not the second time. This is the third time the speaker has given such an instruction, and it has been disregarded in his absence. We need to understand from the majority side what their issues with the bill are. We need to understand with those who take the chair when the speaker gives the instruction what their opposition to the bill is. We are very well aware of people in leadership on the majority side who are reaching out to sponsors of the bill, asking us to step down the bill. Is that why the majority side is fighting against the bill? The excuse given today that the chairman of the committee is not in the chamber, so we can't take the amendment, is alien to the practice of this house, because the ranking member was present. Even government bills, when the chairman is not present, the ranking member is able to take the amendments that stand in the name of the chairman, because amendments of the committee always stand in the name of the chairman. And all the amendments, about 43 of them that have been tabled, are amendments that have been agreed between us as sponsors and the committee. And so they won't stand in my name, or Honorable Benja's name, or Honorable Helen, or Honorable Delasoa, or Honorable Odole's name, or Roxanne's name, or in Tim Forger's name. They will stand in the name of the committee chair. But it does not mean that only the committee chair can move it. So if government business, the ranking member can move the amendment, how is it that a private member's bill, where the private members say we are comfortable with the ranking moving the bill, then the person in the chair says we can't take the bill because the chairman is not there, and the chairman has intentionally stayed away? Would this same government that is telling us that at 3 o'clock we've stayed too long, would they not keep us here? Yes. I'm taking money from LGBT. And I shouldn't mention her name as the pro-LGBT president.
She's one of them. Continue.
She went and sat on the media and said, she knows that I've taken money from LGBTQ people. Sheila Bartels. It took her father to come and apologize to me. You were leaving the house today. You should have taken a little for 30 minutes. There is nothing we are saying that we can't say.
How come this bill is dividing our parliament so much?
Randy,
what is it about this bill?
I'm at a loss, because the same people who are professing support, when the speaker gave the opportunity the last time and said, if you are against it, speak, the same people who all claim that they are in support of it, once the speaker is not sitting there, then all of a sudden some kind of gymnastics is happening. And like I said, people are calling people, oh, let's do this to the bill, let's I mean,
what's the fear? What's the fear?
There are all kinds of allegations that it would impose international pressure on us. And I keep saying that, look, it comes back to how the country.
But I thought you said the Attorney General made inputs.
The Attorney General has made. In fact, the bill delayed for almost 5 months because we're waiting for the Attorney General's input. He did an input, I think, in October of 2022. It's public, and it was a public document that came out. The Attorney General listed all his challenges with the original bill. We had a session with him. By the time he came, because we had waited for 6 months, in that 6 months, we were waiting for him his memo. With the committee, we had been working on the bill. So by the time we met the Attorney General, most of about 98% of the things he had raised had already been trashed out between the committee and him. So that meeting, I remember very well, was on the 6th floor of Job 600. The Attorney General raises his issue. Then the chairman will tell him, we've dealt with it. Then he says, how? Then we show him the amendments we made. He says, okay, I'm okay with it. In fact, at the end of that meeting, and I came and sat here, Randy, and said it on this your show, the Attorney General said, Sam George, you've criticized me of delaying the memo to frustrate your bill. Please go and tell the media again that I am 100% in support of your bill. Attorney General's own words. Godfrey Dami, he's alive. You can check with him. And I came and sat here and said, the Attorney General has given us an all clear because he's comfortable that we've addressed all the issues he has in it. So Randy, look, Nigeria, and I get the international pressure bit, but Randy, people must realize that it comes back to the kind of leadership and how leadership positions itself. Nigeria in 2015, 8 years ago, passed a law against same-sex marriages, similar to what we are doing. In 2015, Nigeria didn't get any sanctions because the Nigerian government made it clear that they will reciprocate against any action that is taken against them. And Randy, the last point I'll make on this, why should anybody think that for us as Ghanaian legislators, who have been elected and paid, we are paid a salary every month, to pass law to reflect what our society wants? They say it's human rights. In the UK, the House of Commons, did they not recently pass legislation on migration, which many human rights people view as an infringement of the human rights of asylum seekers? Did they not, as members of parliament in the UK House of Commons, pass that legislation to say that asylum seekers must be brought to Rwanda? Did you see African MPs or African governments rising up against them? In fact, that legislation, after it was passed by the House of Commons, was taken to court. The courts in the UK have ruled that legislation is a violation of human rights. Still, the UK government is saying they will proceed with that legislation. In the US, is the US Congress not pushing for the building of a wall? Have they not dedicated funds to building a wall to keep migrants out of their country? Has anybody said that US congressmen and British parliamentarians have erred or have done the wrong thing? Absolutely not. So why is it that Ghanaian MPs doing our job as MPs, somebody sitting somewhere will come and tell us what is right for Ghanaian people or not? Randy, let us take our destiny into our own hands. Let's pass legislation that reflects what we want to do or the aspirations of the Ghanaian people, and let's move on. The world will move on with us.
So what happened today?
Oh, today there is budget. Today we are supposed to have a head count. As to whether the majority would be minority today again, you know, the last week Thursday, they were minority in parliament because they had only 3 members, whilst we had our full complement. We have our full complement. If they can bring their numbers, that's fine, but we're going to have a head count. The speaker has indicated we'll have a head count. I'm hearing that some of their members are saying that they won't come to parliament because they want them to come and pass a budget for the government, but the same government, people in the presidency are supporting people against them who are campaigning in their
But I thought that was one of the reasons why the General Secretary at yesterday's meeting
announced a suspension. But the point is, many of their members have gone back to their constituency because they say the party is sitting there and watching governments send these people to campaign against them, and you want them to leave their constituency and come. So if they are able to bring all their people, don't be surprised that today Parliament will start sitting around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock because they are now trying to bring all their people back. If they can, we'll go and have a head count. But today is budget.
Okay.
As for the bill, hopefully maybe on Friday, at the pleasure of Mr. Speaker, we may take it up. But Mr. Speaker is committed because you see, Randy, the Speaker's integrity is at stake here. Because this year, the Speaker met traditional authorities and members of the clergy, and they asked him categorically why the bill has taken so long. And the Speaker made a pledge that the bill will be passed this year. Now, if we don't do it and we rise on the 22nd, it means the Speaker has not kept his word. And that's why I'm saying that the Speaker's integrity is at stake here.